Now, something that is often difficult is schema. What about schema? Should I add it to this page? So PopPilot has opened the schema tab for me. And it knows what schema is currently on the page. And it's making a suggestion on the type of schema that I should add. And the first one is organization schema. So can you add organization schema and service schema to my to-do list? I'm going to put that on the to-do list because then I can come back later after I've done other optimizations and do the schema, and PopPilot can run the schema for me. Perfect. So now what's the next steps in terms of what needs to be done for a page? And one of the suggestions that you may have seen before within our documentation is to do a silo. I can say, I've heard a silo is a good idea. Can you make one for me for this page? Sure thing. I can run the one-click silo for marquee hirewarrington.co.uk, seated on Garden Marquee Hire. And or if you want to set it up yourself, because you certainly can, and PopPilot will walk you through each of the steps. But you know what? I would like PopPilot to do it for me. Please run the one-click silo for me. Great, it's running. And you know what? Let's go and watch the progress. And it's running now. Now, Pop's one-click silo does take 5 to 7 minutes because there is a lot of numbers being crunched. But once that's finished, we can see it here, and then we'll walk through setting up the silo with PopPilot. Okay, so the silo is finished. And what Pop has done is it's pulled out the top level term, the Garden Marquee Hire, which we're using to go to optimize for our target page. And it's pulled out these as the top supporting pages. Now, Pop does this automatically where it pulls out the top ones, and then there are also a bunch of other options, but it has rated these as the best options for the website. You can look at advanced metrics if you'd like to see how that determination is made. There are a lot of really great options here. If you're unsure about what any of these things mean, PopPilot can define them for you, help you choose the right ones. I can tell you that Pop does put these in order of what Pop thinks is best, but PopPilot can also help you through on these decisions. Now, one thing that PopPilot can't do is it can't click these checkboxes. So we do need to have your input here. But let's say I have the bandwidth to do 4 posts for this page. So I'm going to select the top 4. And I'm going to add to my silo. I need to name my silo, so I'm just going to name it Garden Parties. Oop. Create new. All right, that silo has been created. We can click over and see it sitting here with the terms that we're going to go after. So these are pages that we need to create for our site, but then how do we link them? Well, Pop does that for you as well. This is how they interlink. And if you have questions on how this interlinking is done, PopPilot can help you. What I want to do right now is I want to add this silo to my to-do list. Can you add the Garden Parties silo to my to-do list? All right, all done. Let's go check that out real quick in our workstation. All right, so we've got the Garden Party silo, and then we've got the organization schema that we need to add, and then the other task to make the page perform better. So in a very short amount of time, PopPilot was able to help us to get a list of things we need to do now to make this page better, how to do them. When it comes to the schema, PopPilot can help generate that schema and answer any questions about setting up our silo. This to me is pretty exciting that this is how I do SEO. This is effective SEO and done in a short amount of time, and you've got somebody here to answer all of your questions as you go. Okay, so on to some next steps. The first thing I did is I had PopPilot add Garden Marquee Hire to the keyword tracker, and that's just a regular keyword tracker, so we can see how the page performs once we make our tweaks to it. But the next thing I did is that I had PopPilot put the page that we ran the report on through our Watchdog feature. Now, Watchdog, it monitors the search results. And what that's going to do is it's going to provide a report for us on if there's been a change in competitors. And so this can happen when new competitors come into the space, or if there's been an update. And what's going to happen is it's not going to tell us, hey, there have been changes. It's going to tell us what the changes are and what we should do to our page in order to remain competitive. This is extremely important when there's an update, so that we have benchmarked on our important terms what has changed. We can see if this is an update that is affected on page. If it's maybe an update that doesn't seem to have touched on page, that means it's an off page signal or something else within perhaps AI search. But this gives us a way to figure out what's going on and what we need to do. And Pop Pilot was able to set that up for me just with a couple clicks. Not even clicks, just with a couple, just some sentences and having a conversation on what I wanted done. And if once the reports come back, if you have any questions, Pop Pilot can answer any all questions on what you should do to improve the page.